All right, welcome to Flip the Switch with Allie. That's me. And nobody really knows what's going on the show. We just kind of, take it day by day and see what pops up. Today, we have a couple important things to note. We had massive, massive weather move through the whole United States. Even my friends in Florida got to have some nice, chilly weather. I'm sure they enjoyed that. And we also have New Year's coming up. Christmas was last week. And of course, we didn't have a show last week because of the insane weather up here. But we also have, like I said, New Year's is coming up. So I don't know, maybe we should talk about resolutions. And something interesting happened last night, maybe even this morning in Romania. We have Andrew Tate was arrested for, human trafficking and grape without the G. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today as well. I definitely want to give everybody the opportunity to go ahead and call in at any point. If you have any resolutions that you want to talk about, if you want to talk about Andrew Tate and what happened in Romania, any of this crazy weather that we're having, or, just things that might need to stay in the past. 22 is almost over, so how do you say goodbye to 2022? I know a lot of people have some traditions that they like to pull together and whatnot. So feel free to call in. Do we have the number up there yet? We're going to go ahead and put down in the comments the phone number, which is 419-971-4102. Feel free to give us a call, and we will go ahead and patch you in, and you can be here live on the show. So let's see. Oh, we already have a Joe Vigliotti that's coming in hot with the comments. We might need you to call in here in a little bit. But first, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a little taste of what's to come. So we have a preview for a show that's coming in. So enjoy. It's from Flip Switch Industries. The Scoffs. The drama.
Coffee is for members only, and I've never seen you here before. If you knew who my husband was, you wouldn't be talking to me like that.
She's so damn smart. I will take your chip.
A show that you love with all the people that you hate. We took 5 Karens, put them in one room, and told them about their mistakes. What could possibly go wrong?
You threatened the children at the church with eternal damnation.
5 Karens, 1 meeting a week. Who's going to make it to the final episode? Stay tuned to Karens in Recovery here on the Flip Switch channel. So there you have it. Now, of course, that was supposed to be shown last week. As a Karen recovery just in time for Christmas, because we know how Christmas just, it triggers those Karens. They just really want to not be in the holiday spirit, and they'll do just about anything to be upset with somebody, anybody, because they just like to be upset like that. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about New Year's resolutions, some New Year's traditions, different things that people like to do in order to, prepare for the next year. And, if you're like me, you definitely did not make a New Year's resolution because you know that you're not going to really stick with it anyways. I mean, that's just me, okay? I'm not one to stick with New Year's resolutions. I've maybe made 2 in my entire life, and it was probably, to get money and lose weight like everybody else. So, I didn't stick with the plan. But you know what? I'm happy. So I guess that's what matters. So let's go ahead and talk about resolutions in general. A lot of people, like I said, they have their plans for weight loss. They want to eat healthy. They want to go to the gym. And at this point in the year, most people go ahead and purchase a gym membership, right? And they're like, I'm going to get buff I'm going to get trim. I'm going to go ahead and do this and make myself something that I could be proud of, right? Now, as for, the most popular resolutions that people have, I think that's pretty much as popular as it goes. Who doesn't talk about wanting to lose weight for the new year? I mean, we're sitting here in this absolutely decrepit, depending on where you're at in the country, this absolutely crippling seasonal depression that we have. But let's go ahead and talk more about Florida, because that's that is the best place to be during this time of year. I'll tell you what, I lived in Florida for 10 years and I did not have seasonal depression. The only season that we had really was summer. So even for New Year's, it was just like any other day, no seasonal depression, unlike pretty much anywhere else in the United States. So, there's that. So and which brings us to another resolution is going to be mental health. A lot of people want to go ahead and get more mentally healthy on their way into the new year. They want to be more happy. They want to be able to look at themselves and say, yeah, I'm proud of who I am, because not everybody could be like me and be proud of who they are, just being the piece of shit that they are. Some people want to just go ahead and make some real changes. Not me. So anyways, let's see. We have another one is saving money or making more money. And I know there's people that have certain traditions like eating pork. I do not eat pork, but I know that a lot of people eat pork on New Year's Eve to bring in the new year, and apparently that's supposed to be good luck. I know that some people clean their house and sweep all of the bad energy out and put welcoming mats for good energy around their door, things of that nature. And I encourage all of that. I hope that everybody can have a fantastic and wonderful new year, headed in the right direction, and, keep on trucking that way, whether you're, trying to do better with your mental health, trying to save money, trying to lose weight, or if you have something else like, I'm just going to be a better person in general. That sounds like a good one. Maybe you want to donate to more charities. Maybe you want to go to a soup kitchen and do what you can to help the less fortunate. The New Year's is a great time to make plans that you don't plan on actually following through with. But if you do, that is good for you. I don't know anybody that actually, I'm in that circle of friends where none of us actually follow through with our New Year's resolutions. But if you do, that's super. So, like I said, something interesting happened today with Andrew Tate, and I haven't talked about Andrew Tate for a couple of reasons. One of which being that I don't want to give him attention at all. I don't watch his videos, so I don't have a lot of direct quotes from the guy. I've seen snippets here and there, and I've come to the decision that this is not something that I want to watch or something that I want to have anything to do with. So I simply haven't. But the little snippets that I have seen of what that guy has to say is basically that he believes women are property of men, and that men are the superior people in our in humanity. He thinks that men are superior, to the point where he thinks that women should basically just bow down to him and make him a sandwich or something like that. I don't really know exactly what he says because of how disgusting what I've seen of him is. I haven't actually went and followed the guy or watched any of his videos. But with all the misogyny that he just spews and portrays across the United States, and he does have a huge following, okay? He's got enough people that follow him to where it's actually kind of scary. You think about this guy spreading his hate and misogyny, telling these young men to go ahead and treat their women like their property and whatnot. Well, maybe that's why we have this huge population of young men right now that are saying that they're not having sex and they're not able to find a woman. Because so many women nowadays are like, you know what? If I can work and take care of the children by myself, I don't know what do I need you for? And it's because of people like Andrew Tate behaving the way that they do that makes these women either turn lesbian or just decide for one reason or another that men are not for them. I mean, there is one reason to keep men around for sure. I mean, for the straight women, there's definitely a reason to keep men around. But, with today's day and age, why buy the cow when the milk is free? They're willing to give it out. We don't have to worry about that. So anyways, I believe that that is the reason why there's so many single men in the United States that are not able to copulate because we just don't want to put up with it. And we're like, no thanks, bro. And I think that that's a beautiful thing. But what do I know? So apparently Andrew Tate, his brother, and a couple of other people from England and Romania were arrested for sex trafficking and grape, like I said, without the G. So they had been taking, apparently, according to Romania's Directorate for Investigating Organized Crime, or it looks like DICOT as an acronym, they're actually a very powerful circle of people that have a huge ring of sex trafficking. And there's already been witnesses that have come forward and said specifically that Andrew Tate has basically taken these women to his house and made them do degrading things on internet, porn for money. So that's a sex crime. And I mean, with everything that he thinks about women, it's really not hard to believe that, he would do something like that. He was put into custody today. He was able to have his cell phone and get on Twitter and make a couple tweets about it. But other than that, they went from a 24-hour holding to a 1-month holding for Andrew Tate and his brother and their friends because apparently Romania is not having it. They're like, no, this guy is dangerous and disgusting, and he has to be behind bars for long enough for us to go ahead and get all of this in order so that we could take him to court. And that's something that probably wouldn't happen in the United States. They probably would have just given him a bond and been like, all right, don't leave the country, buddy. And you know what? I have to say that's a beautiful thing. The few things that I have watched this man say, which are, like I said, disgusting and vile towards women, I'm really not upset over him being in jail for 30 days. I think it kind of makes me happy a little bit, but, So, we have, so apparently, according to Joe, he said Barbara Walters didn't make it to 2023. Now, we're going to go ahead and look this up, okay? But what I do want to say, hey, Tyler, are you able to look up Barbara Walters if she's still alive? I'm gonna point something out. There's a trend going on TikTok right now where people are saying, that, oh my gosh, so-and-so dead at whatever age. And so it's not true. So apparently, wow, I guess Barbara Walters really did die at 93. That's not a TikTok trend. That's for real. It's already on Wikipedia. Somebody already updated it. It's true. Oh yeah. Wow, Barbara Walters. She just didn't make it. Well, you know what? I mean, last year we lost an icon, so she Betty White almost made it to New Year's and she didn't. So Barbara Walters, rest in peace. Sorry you didn't make it to 2023. She's probably not, though. She's probably like, this world was shit. So glad to be out of here. I'm sure she's in a better place. She's Barbara Walters. So that is really sad. Barbara Walters has been on TV forever. What show was she on? Was it 2020? I'm Barbara Walters, and this is what. Yeah, she was on The View, but yeah, she was on 2020. I'm Barbara Walters, and this is 2020. That's right. Wow. I don't know. She's been on TV for a very long time. So I am going to go ahead and repeat. If you guys have any kind of anything that you want to go ahead and share with us, you can give us a call at any time. The number is 419-971-4102. Feel free to give us a call. Talk about your favorite things that are being left in 2022, not including Barbara Walters, because that is sad that she's going to be stuck in this year forever without us. But she's probably better off without us, because people are shit. So I did have something else that I noticed when I was looking up this whole thing with Andrew Tate. So the young woman, Greta from Germany, she and Andrew Tate had recently been into a little online scuffle. And what she said was he asked for her email address so that he was talking about how he's got 33 cars with huge emissions, and he was basically just being a jackass. And so he said, if you send me your email address, I'll send you information about all my cars and their huge emissions. And so she was like, sure. She said something about smalldickenergy@getalife.com or something like that. And so they had a little scuffle. And then when he was initially found by the Romanian police, a lot of people noticed that in his last live that he was making, he was eating pizza. And they think that they discovered where his location from the pizza box that he had. And so Greta Thunberg said, yeah, that's what you get for not recycling your pizza boxes. So there's a little thing about that. And when I was looking it up, I realized either I've been saying Greta's name incorrectly the entire time that I've known about her, and I've been saying Greta Thunberg, or this is some sort of a, what is it called when they, the Mandela effect. That's right. So either I've been mispronouncing her name the entire time and swearing that I read it as Thornburg, or this is a Mandela effect and I'm like in a new parallel universe or something, because it's now Thunberg. Or at least that I just today noticed that it was Thunberg instead of Thornburg. So if anybody else thinks that they remember it being Greta Thunberg and not Thunberg, let me know that I'm not crazy. Why do I have a feeling that nobody's going to say anything because I indeed am crazy? That might just be what happens today, but hey, who knows? I guess I'll either never find out or somebody's going to be like me. I remember, it was Thornburg. And so speaking of people and things that are staying in 2022 and the Mandela effects, I have one more for you that I want to bring up. Sorry, I needed some refreshment. All right, so I remember Bob Barker dying years ago. I remember him retiring from The Price is Right, and Drew Carey came on to The Price is Right, and then not long after that, he passed away. But apparently, he just celebrated his 99th birthday. So I'm not quite sure if I'm crazy and multiple other people are crazy, because I'm not the only person that remembers this. But I remember Bob Barker dying years ago. And apparently that is not correct. So that just kind of brings us into the whole, multiverse theory and parallel universes and string theory. I don't know. So many different theories to be concerned with. But what is going on with the world right now? How come so many of us remember these certain things that nobody else remembers? And what about growing up? I remember the Berenstain Bears. I clearly remember it being the Berenstain Bears because I love the Berenstain Bears, and I lived in Northeast Ohio, and I went to a theme park that we have out here called Cedar Point, and it used to have Berenstain Bearland. I remember it very vividly, and I love the Berenstain Bears. But all of a sudden, it's now apparently always been Berenstain Bears. But a lot of people remember it being Berenstain Bears. I'm not the only one. So there's that as well as so many other Mandela effects. And it's actually called the Mandela effect because so many people remember Nelson Mandela dying in prison. And then others, apparently in this universe, like he actually did not die in prison. So that was one of the first things that people noticed, that a large number of people remember certain memories that are not real. And that is something that is so cool to talk about because, I mean, even when you Google it, it's like Google verifies. And I want to say something interesting too. Today when I was like, man, am I crazy because I've been saying Greta Thunberg this whole time and I've just been saying it wrong? And so I went to Google like her name and it's Thunberg everywhere. But then I did see one thing under the searches. It says, is it Thunberg or Thunberg? And it was both spelled the same way. But I think that other people have noticed that her name was Thornburg and that it's now spelled like differently. When you type it into Google, it automatically fixes it to Thunberg. So the wheels are turning in my head, or maybe I'm just crazy. I don't think that's the case. But would I? If I really was crazy, would I think that I was crazy? Who knows? I don't think so. So anyways, I did notice that. And then on top of that, while I was looking up Greta Thunberg, whatever, I noticed that there's, not that long ago, they, I forget if it was like if they made like a miniature black hole or something like that recently. And I know that there's that one kid that apparently in, I think 2013 or something like that, he put together this theory about the Mandela effects and how in 2012 they had the particle collider that like ended on the Mayan calendar day or something like that, and that really the Earth that we lived on was completely destroyed and we were taken to an alternate parallel universe. So if that happened recently, and now I just realized that the this whole thing with Thornburg and Thunberg is different, maybe we've done it again. Maybe we destroyed the Earth completely again and now we're in another parallel universe. I don't know. The wheels in my head are turning, probably because I've been watching too many documentaries while I'm stoned out of my mind. But, whatever. Medical card, that's what it's there for, right? So, anyways. Yeah, just like Alex Farshman also said, I also thought Bob Barker had died. That's what I'm saying. I know that the guy, he retired from the show, but I'm pretty sure he died like not long after that. It's like something like I think he like fell on the sidewalk, bumped his head or something like that. So maybe I'm just going crazy. I'm not too sure, but we'll see. In the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and go to a little bit of a break. I'm gonna show you guys the reveal, the first official episode of Karen's in Recovery, okay? And just to let you know, if you couldn't tell by the little intro that we had earlier, so this is based off of a group of Karens who want to make a change in the world by not being Karens anymore. That is their goal. So they go to Karen's Anonymous, and they go through their 12-step program, and this is a little reality show that we have going on, And we'll see if all of these Karens make it to the very last episode and see what prizes they win and all kinds of stuff. But I hope you enjoy episode 1 of Karens in Recovery.
What are you doing? Making coffee? Yeah, well, coffee is for members only, and I've never seen you here before. If you knew who my husband was, you wouldn't be talking to me like that. Well, me and my husband are president of our HOA. Well, we're the head of our neighborhood watch and our HOA.
Ladies, this isn't a Karen competition. Come on, let's go. Get seated. Come on.
Don't have all day.
Okay, now privileged Karen, don't make me take your 30-day chip, okay? That's right. I see you did meet our newest member. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Maggie. I'm not a Karen. This was just imposed by the judge. I don't actually need to change anything, so.
Hi,
Maggie.
Maggie. All right, and why are we all here?
To
To cure the cancer of the world, one Karen at a time. That's right. And remember, ladies, we're here because we want to be part of that change. Now, this is a perfect day to start Karen's Anonymous. We're actually going over step 1 of 12 of our 12-step process to Karen recovery. Who remembers the first step? Ooh. Oh yes, Internet Karen.
Honesty, yeah. According to KarensAnonymous.com, we admit we're powerless over Karening, and as a result, our lives are now unmanageable, and we then identify as Karen.
Wow, look at that. She's been here 2 weeks and she already knows everything.
2 cent Karen. Nobody asked for your input. Remember step 10. Okay, sweetie?
I'm sorry, but she's so damn smug. According to KarensEconomy.com, whatever. You'd think she had a damn Google doctorate degree.
Someone just get the tape. Someone get the tape. You have 2 options now. You either use the tape or you leave. And I know you need this for court.
Behave. Really, you call yourselves Karens.
It's the first step into being in this crap. I don't need no Karens Anonymous.
2 cent. You threatened the children at the church with eternal damnation if they told on you for putting bourbon in the wine. You're right. I think Alcoholics Anonymous would have been a better option for you, but here we are.
Yeah, this is crazy. I'm not calling myself Karen. Well, then you'll never get to the second step.
Faith. You must have faith that you are not the highest power. And if you don't believe in this, Karen's Anonymous will not work for you. Yes, and we'll get into that next week on Karen's in Recovery.
Do you or a loved one suffer from the inability to stop speaking? Do people cringe at the sound of your voice? Does the beginning of your sentence ever start in the middle of somebody else's? Well, shut the fuck up might be the right thing you're looking for.
Man, shut the fuck up is great. I take it everywhere. I used to be really bad at taking social cues in any situation. Girls wouldn't talk to me, they would just find me annoying. But anytime I'm at a party or any type of social gathering at all, I always have a piece of this bad boy with me. Best thing ever.
Here at Flip Switch Industries, we strive to make the world a better place by fixing people that society doesn't like. Incorrect and unpopular opinions are a thing of the past. Yeah, I tried Shut the Fuck Up. It was horrible. And then I tried to go back and get a refund, and these people were not listening to me. They said that they couldn't give refunds on a free sample. Well, you know what? It violated my rights, okay? It violated my rights, and I have every right to not be offended by telling. Well, I just didn't want to be told to be shut the fuck up, okay? And then I got really mad because they wouldn't let me see a manager, and I brought out my phone and I told them, I said, you know what? You can all be Facebook famous. Is that what you want? Because let me tell you what, they were not listening to me, and what are you doing? What are you doing? What the fuck is this? I bet the boys back in the 1800s wish they had some of this for Sojourner Truth. Who did she think she was, always speaking up about equality? Apparently, she thought she was a woman.
We've been married going on 3 years now. It was a little bumpy in the beginning, wasn't it, honey?
Yeah.
We found Shut the Fuck Up and it solved all of our problems. We ain't gotta worry about that no more, do we, dear?
Yep, it sure did save our marriage. I used to have a lot of opinions and I would speak them out loud, which is really embarrassing for him, for him not to speak for me. So that's just a problem of the past now, though, isn't it, honey?
It's totally in the past, sweetheart. We found Shut the Fuck Up and answered all of our problems. Nothing we gotta worry about anymore, do we, baby?
Nope.
Thanks, Shut the Fuck Up. I didn't tell you could speak. Hey, you got a spare piece of that for me? There we go.
Shut the Fuck Up has reduced domestic violence by 30%, and our patented silencer technology is safe for everyone. Even kids can shut the fuck up. Don't tell my husband this, but when I really need a moment to myself and those kids just won't leave me alone, the kids can get some too. Shut the Fuck Up is sold at fine Walmarts across the United States, and it's cheaper than court costs.
Damn, girl, you looking sexy as hell. It's like an angel fell from heaven.
Hell no, Kyle. Flip Switch Industries, bringing us the technology that we all deserve. All right. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed making it. It was wonderful. Now, I do want to say that all of the products in the whole line for Flip Switch Industries kind of go together. I don't know if you noticed or not, but Flip Switch Industries has come out with quite a few different items or inventions. And let's see, they have the Shut the Fuck Up tape. They have eraser spray and concentrate. Let's see, they have the H. Keller. The what? Oh, Synthetic Love. That's right. The dating website. We have the light web as opposed to the dark web, of course. So I also want to take the opportunity while you guys are sitting here watching to just let you know you're able to be part of the show and you're able to, help us with ideas and anything else. If you can think of any kind of products that don't exist that you wish did, then, we want to hear about it. Kind of like how one of my friends was like, I just had a patient that was so racist and, there's nothing that we could really do about it except for kind of like walk away and ask to not be put on that person's, registry anymore. Like, I don't want to have that patient anymore. And I was like, man, like, it would be great if we could get rid of racism for a little bit. And they were like, yeah, my point exactly. And I was like, but what if we could? Obviously, these products don't actually work. This is a show that is about sketch comedy and, real life events. And the whole point of the show, Flip the Switch, is because we want to talk about things that are serious, but we also want to make fun of things. Because what better is there than, comedy, sarcasm, and to laugh at all the serious, crazy shit that's going on in the world right now? Because if we don't laugh, we're probably going to cry. There's always that. I don't like crying. I'm an ugly crier, so I just try not to. I make fun of everything. It's probably why I got kicked out of nursing school, but, it definitely wasn't my 4.0. Anyways. Men's selective hearing aid. Well, Rhonda, men already have selective hearing, so if you're talking about a hearing aid that like corrects them, here's the thing is that that wouldn't work because they would just choose to ignore it. No, what we would have to do is create a product that would actually alter their brain chemicals. Didn't we have a product like that altered their brain chemicals? The what? Oh, yeah, that's right. That is right. Yes. So we had, yeah. Yeah, the human surveillance application. That's right. Yeah, where it gives you an instant health report. Yeah. So see, that's like I said, all these products are they're all like things that you could use together. So I mean, maybe there is some sort of a male hearing aid that we could do, but I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it would have to be maybe targeted towards men, but we would have to market that towards like a larger audience than just men, because there's enough people out there to where it just doesn't, it just wouldn't help the world enough to only reach men. There's enough women out in this world who just decide not to listen or not hear people, and well, usually they end up being Karens, but just people who are too entitled to hear whatever they don't want to hear. And that's that. Let's see what else we have. So, the vagina, it alters brain chemicals too. I mean, I suppose it does. It can. That's become... What is up with my comment section today? I love it. That's because men have two heads and not a brain in either one. Oh, well, if that ain't how the old saying goes. I mean, yeah, in general, I agree with you, but we're not going to tell people that I agree with you, because then people on the show are going to be like, she doesn't like men, and I do love men. I just think, that sometimes, I think you're just right about that sometimes. That's all we're going to say. And Amos decides that he's not going to argue with that. So, yeah, I wouldn't either. Men are definitely out there. I mean, again, we could go ahead and look at Andrew Tate. He basically teaches men to be that way on purpose. It's pretty sad and scary that there's men out there in power that have money that, like, I don't know what he wants to concentrate on, whether it's kickboxing, crypto, or, dehumanizing women. But he makes money off of all three of those things, and his channel talks about all of those. Again, I'm not like an Andrew Tate expert. I do not watch the guy. I do not give him attention. Today's the first time that I've even really talked about him, just because I don't believe that people like that deserve any kind of attention, good or bad, because... any kind of attention, good or bad, on the internet is good attention, because you make money off of any kind of attention. So, I mean, you could be the bad guy and get plenty of attention, and you can get paid off of it too. It doesn't even make sense. So, other than that, yeah, I will say that guys in general. Now, in my opinion, I will say that, throughout history, women, of course, have been told, you can't vote, you can't learn to read or write, and men have always been in power. There's not many cultures where women do run the show. However, we are seeing more and more, that the world is becoming a little more equal in that matter, and I'm here for it. Of course, I mean, being a feminine, a female. Why would I not? And, if it comes down to, am I a feminist or not? It depends on what kind of feminist you mean. Because I definitely don't hate men. I know that, it might sound like I don't exactly favor them all that much. Not all the time, but I do love men. There's so many men that I absolutely love and adore. Men that are fantastic examples and people who should be praised in our society. But I mean, damn, there's so many that just need to be corrected. And I don't know how else to explain that. I mean, there's enough men out there that need mommies, even if they have mommies, you know. And that's another reason why a lot of women are deciding more and more often to be single, is because, unfortunately, you know, we don't want to have to take care of an extra child, and that's kind of what it comes down to. Whether it's, you know, the extra dishes, because in today's day and age, again, women are expected to work and raise the children, work and have the children full time, work and do the laundry, work and do the dishes, work and do the cleaning. And like I said, for a lot of women, it just seems like it's an extra chore. Why have a man around? You know, with the exception of the fact that more often than not, women just really want a man around. I like men. I like having men around. The right ones anyways. Oh, and now we have Joe saying dishes, LMAO. Listen, I do not like doing the dishes, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, that is my least favorite chore to do. Second to laundry. I don't like either one of those. However, if I had the choice, I would do laundry all day long over dishes. And I don't know why. I have a dishwasher. I just literally hate it. I hate doing the dishes. I will rinse everything off. And instead of just putting it in the washer, I just am like, I'm going to leave it in the sink. I don't know why I do that. I don't know why. But yeah, I absolutely hate doing the dishes. Amos said, the problem is, I don't know how it is with women. And I believe they are similar in some regard at least. But the problem is we have this primal urge that we have to fight all the time. For some, hold on. For some, it's much easier, and others, it's way harder. And the ones who can't control their urges end up making very bad life choices and making the rest of us look bad. Yeah. All right, listen, Rhonda and Joe, we're not going to tag team up against me right now. We'll just put it, we'll just say it like this. They're both my former roommates. So they might know pretty well. Okay, Rhonda's my mom. And I've known Joe for 7 years. We've lived together for many years, so that explains it. So, but back to what Amos was saying. I do want to go ahead and touch on the fact that when it comes down to it, men and women both have urges. And just like he said, you know, for some people it's harder than others to not act upon those urges, but that's exactly why, you know, a lot of women are bringing up the fact that when you look at all the gun violence that we have in the United States, it's not really being performed by women. And women are often blamed for not having control over their emotions. But when you look at it, number one, when we're PMSing, as they say, the hormone that is controlling our body and making us regular is testosterone, which men have plenty of. And, you know, it seems to me that, you know, when you have certain urges, women are more able to control those emotional or physical urges than men. And I'm not a scientist here. I cannot tell you why that is. They don't teach us that much in nursing school, but I can tell you that it does seem to be the general consensus that, you know, in general, men are the ones who perform sexual assault. I'm not saying that women never do, because sometimes they do. But in general, it's men that, you know, perform acts of violence. And that's not to say that you've never seen the show Snapped and you've seen some of those crazy girls that go through the craziest situations because somebody just broke up with them or because they had all these plans and then they do something absolutely crazy, you know. But like I said, it's mostly, in general, it is men. And, you know, white men in particular do a lot of it. Just had to be honest about it. Statistically speaking, that is correct. So let's see what else are people saying here in the chat. So Amos also said they not only influence us to want to connect, but those urges also make people want to disconnect because they can't connect. That underlying influence affects all of our daily day-to-day choices. And Rhonda says, I agree with Amos. Most of those people usually have been abused as children. You would think they had it happen to them and they wouldn't want to inflict that on anyone else, but they do. Psychologically speaking, I know that, and Joe said as well exactly what I was about to say. Hurt people, man. Yeah, Happy New Year, Joe. Thanks for your attention on the show. And yeah, hurt people do hurt people. And I don't think that it's necessarily that they want to hurt people as much as, so when somebody is sexually assaulted as a child, they are more likely to also sexually assault a child as an adult. But I don't know if there's any research into being able to tell if they're doing it to hurt somebody or if they're doing it because they feel like maybe if they or it maybe that because it's something that happened to them, it turns into some sick mental fantasy or something that they decide maybe if I pretend like I liked it back then that it's not so traumatic. I mean, the human brain, it's not like we are able to say, oh yes, this is exactly what I think, and emotionally speaking, I am the most sound person ever. We have emotions, and that's kind of what aids us in making some immoral decisions. So a lot of times when people cannot control their emotions, that's when these things happen. So, it's not really to say that they want to go out and hurt people or they want to try to feel like what happened to them wasn't so bad. And, it's not that bad. Like, I do it too. Like, we're just one of the crowd. So I'm really not sure. But yeah, hurt people do hurt people. And I'm going to go ahead and say that we're going to call this show a day. I really enjoy having all of you guys out here. I enjoy the chat. If you guys have any kind of product ideas, skit ideas, anything that you want to see or have talked about on the show, I know that Amos was asking me about DMT earlier, and I know that we have talked about this on the show multiple times. But, I'm always open for suggestions. We do this every week. This show is going to be here for your enjoyment, your entertainment. We plan on doing this for a while. And so we could talk about anything that you guys want to talk about. So in closing, I'm going to go ahead and say, visit us. You can find us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube. You can find us on TikTok. We are all over the place. And of course, we're right here live on Facebook. Feel free to send me a message. You can find me on Facebook, Allie McDaniel on Facebook. You can also message the show directly, and it will come to me or one of the producers. And we can go ahead and address that and, see if we could put it in the show. If you want to be on the show, if you want to be a guest on the show, if you want to do some acting and the skits on the show, we would love to have you come in. So send us a message. Let us know what you think about the show. Give us some product ideas, and we'll see you guys next week on Flip the Switch. Stay tuned here Fridays at 10 p.m. Have a blessed one, and Happy New Year.